Since you now know the definition of MDC Live, you will need it to select a video conferencing tool. Well, at MDC, you have 3 tools to choose from. Now, we have Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, which we're meeting in now, you're very familiar with. We have Zoom, which is coming out very soon, so stay tuned. And we also have MS Teams Meeting. Now, all 3 of these tools are integrated into Blackboard, okay? And so please stay tuned for trainings about these tools. Now, if you're not sure which to choose, we have a very nice chart. Okay, so let me kind of pause here and show you this chart. Okay, and so we have Ultra, Collaborate Ultra, we have MS Teams Meetings, and Zoom Meetings. Now, just a few things to highlight. Recently, in the past few days actually, Blackboard Collaborate Ultra has increased to 25 videos or webcams at once. Now, only the faculty can see this view right now. They will be upgrading it for the students soon as well. So right now, the faculty can see 25 students at a time or participants. The students can only see 4. Now, with Teams meetings and with Zoom meetings, they can see a 7x7 grid, which is 49 on the screen. Okay, so that's a big difference between the 3 or between Ultra and the other 2. Now down here, Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, unfortunately, you are not able to change your background. And some professors have reported that some of the students feel shy if they don't want their background revealed. And so they're more hesitant to turn on the camera. Now, Microsoft Teams Meeting and Zoom meetings, you can change the background. So that's another difference to point out. Now, Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, unlike the other 2, integrates the attendance tool into Blackboard's Grade Center. So there is a setting when you create a new session where you can incorporate the attendance into the LMS, which is Blackboard, and then all of the session information every time you hold class will be, all that data will be dumped into the attendance tool. Now for Microsoft Teams Meeting, okay, there is attendance and you do need to download that report before leaving or closing the session, otherwise it's gone. And unfortunately, it is not integrated into Blackboard the way it is with Collaborate Ultra. Same thing with Zoom. So you can download the attendance report, but it is not integrated. Okay, so there are pros and cons to each one. Okay, and so that's just a little bit about the video conferencing options that you have. Okay, now the next thing I'd like to talk to you about is, let me come over here, the general best practices for the best experience. Okay, so basically you want to make sure that you have a strong internet connection, of course, and if you don't have a strong one, try to find another location where you do. Also, we suggest you close all other programs and streaming devices except for anything, of course, that you're currently using for class. Also, you want to keep your browser current and use supported mobile browsers. Another tip is definitely you want to use headphones. It really cuts down on the background noise and just gives a much better sound quality. You really can tell the difference between someone who has used headphones and someone who has not. Now, another thing you could consider is recording your presentation. So you can share it with your attendees or students beforehand, posting it onto Blackboard. Okay, and then you can give them time to think about it and use the session to discuss, and you do activities around that material. So this is a flipped classroom strategy. Now, I mentioned earlier in this presentation that we have developed an MDC Live faculty guide. So here are some more best practices from that guide, just a few more. So one thing you want to do is definitely make sure you set up your workspace to include your creature comforts, all your cheat sheets, all your instructional materials, and any emergency contact information you need for tech support or anybody else that might be important to be able to contact during class if something should go wrong. Also, you really want to think about and consider how will you handle absent students the first few days of class and in general. What is your policy? And make sure to really communicate this well to students in many places so there's no question about your attendance policy. Another idea is you can schedule a session preferably before classes even begin, okay, or the first class or the first few classes, where you can troubleshoot with your students. So you can reserve some time before or after class that students can come in and go over any technical problems they are having with you. That way you can get to the bottom of whatever their issues might be. Okay, so again, that is from our faculty guide we've developed, and there's many more best practices and other tips that we're going to tell you about, and I'm going to show you the guide in just a little bit. Now, how do you get help for you and your students? Well, the CIOL.org is the first place you should go, and I'm going to give you a tour of that in just a few minutes. The next thing you can do is there's Blackboard Help for students, and there's their information. They also have the 24/7 live chat available, okay, and that's on the institution page of Blackboard. Okay, you can also put it into your course if you need to. Okay, and then there's also the Blackboard Help for faculty. Notice the phone numbers are very similar to each other. Okay, and you also have that 24/7 live chat. Now, if you would like to book an instructional design consultation, okay, here is the URL that you can do that. You can also go to CIOL's main page, and we have a link on there for booking instructional design consultations. Okay, so that's if you would like to do anything special in your courses, receive special instruction on how to achieve a particular goal, something above and beyond the basics, because we have so many workshops on the basics. So this is something above and beyond that you would need help with. Okay, we also have tons of workshops, as you know, so any questions you have on our workshops or registration, anything like that, please contact us at ciol@mdc.edu. We also have non-Blackboard technical support, and that would be for a password reset, or your computer's just not acting right, you have a software issue or a hardware issue. Then I would urge you to contact your campus network services office. Okay, so the next thing I'd like to do, okay, is give you a tour of the org. Okay, and so I am going to go into my Blackboard. Okay, and so just my courses, .mdc.edu. And then I'm going to go to organizations on the left. And then here is the CIOL.org. It's somewhere in your list. And if you click the star on the right, you can make it a favorite. And so I'm going to click on the CIOL.org. And there's 3 areas I want to point out to you. Okay, one of them is all the way down, and let me actually go into the participant view so that you can see exactly what this will look like on your end. Okay, so if you go all the way down to the bottom, we have the Student Engagement and Support Resources Hub, and this goes to teaching the whole student. Apparently last fall there were several seminars and all kinds of information that is put in here. And if I can click on it, you'll see all kinds of resources and webinar information for the seminars that happened last fall. Okay, so that's one area to show you. The next area is the MDC Live Training folder. So that's about 3/4 of the way down on the left. And here is the live faculty guide that I read to you from a little while ago. And this is in progress. We are still developing it, but you can please, look through there for some ideas. We also have this nice checklist, okay, to help you get ready to teach in this modality. Okay, here is the PowerPoint that goes with this webinar. Okay, so you can look at that, at your own pace whenever you have time. We also have a folder to start off strong this summer, and there's all kinds of instructional design best practices and much, much more. So you see it's very comprehensive. We have all kinds of checklists and 4 helpful checklists and videos for how to do some basic things in your courses. Okay, and let me actually return there. I went to the wrong folder, MDC Live Training again. Okay, and so the breakout group activity that you have done today, we are going to be saving in this folder, and we've already conducted other webinars, so you can look through other professors' ideas as well. Okay, so that's a nice resource to look at. Okay, we also have many articles and resources. We have handouts for MDC Live that you can give to your students. Okay, we also have a video on how to color code the Grade Center for early alerts. Okay, so we mentioned that in the webinar. Okay, and some other things to look at. We have faculty to faculty shared materials. So if you have any great content or any links or any resources you want to share, we would love to have them. And so far we have several professors, okay, that have already shared their materials. Okay, and so you can kind of see down on the left, several different people have already shared. Okay, so let me come back here. Okay, and the last thing in that folder I really want to show you is the post-workshop assignment. And I'm going to send you a link to this assignment also later on after the webinar concludes. Okay, so in here you're going to click to complete the post work, and you're going to fill out and come up with an action plan for how you can implement what you've learned today in the workshop. Okay, so that is where the post workshop assignment is. It will be due in 2 weeks. Okay, so I will email you the exact date. Now another area I want to show you is the Blackboard area. Okay, and so some things to look for here. One major area that's very helpful is the Blackboard FAQs. Okay, and so we have tons of FAQs, okay, that we've been putting together. Okay, and so for each area, you can definitely take a look through. There's many tips and how-tos and recommended best practices. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is we have the student handouts. Again, just like we saw in the MDC Live, there's many handouts that you can give to students to do basic things in Blackboard. We also have faculty to faculty shared materials, just like we saw before, but not just for MDC Live, for anything. Okay. And then another area to show you, let me scroll, let me find it here, right here, the Blackboard pre-recorded workshops. And so there are 8 pre-recorded sessions that you can take on many of the basic Blackboard webinars or workshops. Okay, so you can take those on your own time as you have the time. Okay, so that's a great resource to know about. Okay, the other thing I want to show you, just a few more things here. Okay, there is a template in here. Okay, and let me see if I can find it. It's kind of hiding on me here. Okay, so let me just see if I can search for it. Sometimes that helps. And here we go. That's it, the CIOL Blackboard course template. So instead of starting off from scratch, you can use this template to build your course. Okay, and then of course starting off strong, I showed you that in the other folder. This is the same folder, so there's tons of ideas for instructional design, best practices, and much more. So that is the CIOL org. Hopefully it is helpful to you. Okay, and now we're going to return back to the webinar. See you there.